Yes! Episode 96, Trailblazers. Welcome back. Hedging Part 2 for academic purposes. Who's that for? Are you a student at university? You probably have to write a research paper, or actually many papers. Are you planning on applying to college or university? You're going to have to write a paper or some kind of essay. This hedging language for academic purposes is extremely important and pertinent for you to make that impression to your supervisor, professors, or the board that reviews your application. So stay tuned, because coming in hot and fast is the language you're going to need in your papers. Here we go. Welcome back. Let's get right to it. Hedging language for academic purposes. Now, unlike last week, which was about conversation, this is an accepted practice in academia. We need to allow for interpretation of our data or research, and in order to allow that to happen, we need to express the results or our opinions, not in a definitive way, but with room for interpretation, room for discussion, and maybe even room for criticism. That's what academia is about. So it's incredibly important that you show three things. Your fluency level by being able to use formal language and allow room for interpretation and criticism. How do you do that? Here's some language examples. It seems likely that. It could be said. In all likelihood. So right there, I've given you the first three again. And just to maybe make a comparison where if we use definitive language, what the difference will sound like. If I say, it seems likely that wearing a mask during this pandemic time will reduce my chances of getting infected with COVID. Or it could be said that wearing a mask does not provide sufficient protection for those around you getting infected with COVID. Finally, in all likelihood, wearing the mask below your nose is not going to provide any protection to those around you from being infected with COVID. Okay? Again, I am allowing for a little bit of interpretation and maybe even criticism of those statements. I know that they're not academic, and I apologize for that, but you get the idea. If you say there's definitely a link, there is no question that, there is no doubt that, your claims of whatever you're saying in your papers are going to be very easily dismissed, because nobody is going to want to listen to someone preaching or giving conclusive statements like that. Here's the other language you can use. It's worth considering. One possible implication of this is, it is conceivable that the data indicate. One possible implication of this is, and finally, a possible explanation for this discrepancy is. So, I've given a mask example. It's not academic. But I just wanted to use it as an example to show you the difference. The language is academic, and that's what you can use in your papers for the three reasons that I've already given to you. You can also include words like potentially, arguably, or you can say something like we can assume that, or it can be argued. Any of this is acceptable and very academic in nature, and will help you show that you know the formal language, you have a high level of fluency, and that your claims or your interpretations can be considered and taken seriously. I hope you find that episode valuable with the language. Remember, you can sign up for the updates of teacher tips, lesson ideas for teachers, or these videos by signing up for the Freshen Up Fridays newsletter in the link below that takes you to my site, nandis.eu, where I post all of this stuff about once a month. Thank you for your viewership, Stay proud, teachers. Make something happen and build that momentum. Till next time, take care.